Oh gosh, what a weather today. What to do during such day? There is always a watch that should be serviced. And today I have this tiny watch from East Germany, Glashutte. Okay, let's check its reading. So it isn't impressive. We see here almost plus 1 minute per day. Very bad amplitude. The watch itself, it's a lady watch, so pretty small. Actually microscopic here comparing to Orient Crystal, which also isn't a big timepiece. It has only 36mm diameter, and this lady watch is gold plated. Movement made in East Germany, so DDR, in a well-known watchmaking center in Glashutte. And the movement is having 17 joules. Not very complicated, but pretty small. So let's take it out. I see Inca block shock protection. Okay, now the hands, they are very small, not so easy. Here we have it. Isn't in the best condition, this watch, but anyway, it's some kind of challenge. The service so small, timepiece so small parts. Okay, let's take off now the dial and few words about GUB or Glashütte Uhrenbetrieb, because that's the right name. So the history of watchmaking in Glashutte began actually in the middle of 19th century when famous Lange, today it's A. Lange & Söhne, started his first manufacture. After that, other masters of German watchmaking opened its own manufacturers. For example, it was Assmann, it was Moritz Grossmann. Okay, short break here about this history. I see that the hour wheel doesn't have 2 teeth. Unfortunately, they are broken. So I'm lucky actually, because I have the same one. So I will have to replace it for the other. I hope it won't have any influence to the work of this watch. Okay, let's continue my history about Glashutte. During these all years up to Second World War, in this center of Saxony watchmaking in Glashutte, a solid tradition of watchmaking has been established. Then came Second World War. After the Second World War, Germany was divided into 2 parts. One was West Germany, the other East Germany, and the Glashutte was in the East Germany. A new chapter started, and I have here 2 sources. One says in 1951, in the other it was in 1952. Anyway, at this time started to operate Glashütte Uhrenbetrieb or GUB or GUB. Well-known movements of this watch manufacturer are caliber, for example 74, for example 75, or Spezichron or Spezimatic. In this form the company worked actually till 1994, when they changed their name into Glashütte Original, and under this name this company exists till today and is making very luxurious and good looking watches. And today this company is a part of Swatch Group. And of course they are making watches till today. For example, CQ Panorama, very interesting and good looking dive watch. They make chronographs, very elegant watches made from gold. Some vintage watches in vintage style. So very interesting offer and very good and original timepieces. Okay, let's go on with the disassembly. So what what I've removed till now is here, quite interesting click. Very interesting solution that save space and the movement itself is pretty tiny. So what I remove is the balance, is the palette, and now I'm removing the keyless work. We have here Inca block, so some connotation with Swiss movements, and as I said, today Glashutte Original is a part of Swatch Group, and it seems that they even were connected with Swiss watchmaking industry before, so not only today. I can see here that the movement, caliber movement is 0920, so it is a movement what I could find in internet is a movement built between 1970 and 1990. So the movement here is at least 30 years old. Group 0920. And that's all the part, as you see. Not very big, but also not too many. So let's start the assembly and enjoy this part. And I hope you will also enjoy the music. Anyway, if you are watching till now and you didn't subscribe yet, you should definitely do this. And of course, like this video. And if you don't like this video, make the thumb down, but then tell me why you didn't like it, what I can improve. Okay, the wheels are on place. Let's move on. Remember here, for this wheel, it is having a left threaded screw. And now this interesting click. Okay, now the dial side and the keyless work and all the wheels that are responsible for showing us the time, or actually for moving the hands. if you are still watching, hit the like button, because I assume that you really like this video. And if you don't like it, hit the thumb down, but then tell me why you didn't like it. Okay, I think the keyless work like it should. So now the pallet, of course, the pallet stones were oiled before. It's working properly. And we are almost finished with the assembly. The stone of the balance wheel left, and the balance itself . Okay, signs of life, that's a good sign. Now the balance stone. Here's also a spacer for the balance cock, don't forget about it. One remark here about the balance stone. So what I discovered, that the balance stone from the balance cock is different comparing to the one on the other side, so you cannot mix them. So pay attention to that if you will make this movement in the future. And now I see that the dial has quite a lot of patina, and the patina is actually the same like here on this silver coin. The coin comes from Austrian-Hungarian Empire from the 19th century, and it's maybe not really to be recognized, but here the color is very similar. So the dial was silver plated before they printed it. I will leave it like it is. Okay, the dial is almost finished on place, only the screw left. And using this simple tool, I will now set the hands. You can buy the whole set, one is even having a brass end. Anyway, they are not very expensive, you can also make such tool on your own. but on AliExpress you pay for them about $5, so I think there is no sense to make them on your own. In the description down below I will leave some links for watchmaking, for beginners watchmaking tools. Okay, that's the hour hand. Now the minute hand. Now I'm checking only the alignment. Okay, and here also seems to be quite good. So it's time to install the movement in the case. So, and we are almost finished. It's only a few steps left, so don't leave now, because you can miss some important fragments. Here the winding stem. Here the spacer, it's metal ring. And now I will in a moment check the movement on the Timegrapher without any adjustment, without the magnetization. So we will see if the movement improved at least a little bit after the service. Of course the service wasn't a professional service, only made by amateur, so be aware of that. And of course the movement is probably very old, so that's the second reason that will have an influence on this movement. Okay, what I need now is of course the spring bars. That's original spring bars, some strap, and the watch is finished. Very small one. Few steps only left. As you see, I don't use here any special equipment. I do everything with my fingers, and they do their job pretty well. On the strap. And well, very small comparing to my wrist, not really big. Here just to compare other lady watch that I also made, and a video you can find on my channel about the second one, the bigger, little bit bigger, but actually the same category of watches, lady watches. So they were about 30-40 years ago, very famous, so small watches by ladies, gold plated, and the gold plating isn't bad here. Stainless steel case back, and that's the watch. A little bit polish it so that it looks a little bit fresh. And now let's compare it. The reading, as I said, no adjustment, no demagnetization. Let's see what had changed. And yeah, well, amplitude is much better. The accuracy comparing to what I was having is also much better. So there is significant difference between the watch when it was in service and after the service. So that's all. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. See my other videos, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.